Hello everybody, this is Party PD, and welcome to a very special episode of a new series that's going to be called on my channel. It's going to be called the Drafters Corner, where we talk about certain heroes that are slowly developing and becoming a part of the patch or meta, whatever word you want to use. I'm not gonna be picky. I'm very picky about it. I'm not picky. We'll worry about how picky I am about it later. But today we'll be highlighting Magnus. Is he an offlaner or is he a core? That is the big question that seems to be on a lot of people's minds, and I believe that in AVGL today, actually I don't believe, I know what happened because I was there and I did it and I was casting. It was great. There was the offlane Magnus. Now, obviously in the game that you see here on the Collegiate Collegiate Dota 2 Week 6, it was the Magnus offlane that was providing a lot more than just firepower and so on and so forth, but it was a very strong Magnus being able to capitalize on everything, especially since, you know, Magnus is scary. RP and everything like that. Bless me. just Magnus's presence itself is a very scary thing. So that was something that really showed in today's game, which this video will be posted after the game happened. But as many as you well know, is that Magnus has never really been a super strong hero. With the release of the Echo Saber, it's been matched to be otherwise. Obviously, Magnus missing a lot of that initial firepower and now has the ability to deal even more firepower. Now, if we go to the very beginning of the game, we'll see that Magnus had a very, very tough time in the lane. If we can go to the very beginning of the game here, we can see, we can go max screen here. Actually, this is literally right when it started. Never mind. We'll go a little bit more forward here. As we can see here, we have Magnus that's going 8-1 in the off lane, and he actually had died once at that period of time. Now, that's not something that is very uncommon about Magnuses, or Magni as I'm going to call them, plural Magnuses. It's not a very uncommon thing. So, what's the problem? Well, Magnus in the previous days used to be a very hard farmer. And some players go ahead and throw Magnus in the mid lane now. Perfect examples of that would be 747, which we see in the game behind us. But in the game behind us, we're highlighting an actually live game of a Magnus in the off lane who decided to go for the arcane boots into the more support build. So looks like he ended up going for the Guardian Greaves, Blink Dagger, Shadow Blade, and is working into the Silver's Edge to be more of that hard support that people expect, or not really expect, but thought they would see out of the out of Magnus. Now, this Magnus in this game that we're watching on to the right in the Collegiate series, he too was played as an off lane and had very bad CS and very low chance of surviving. Now, what does all this stat stuff have to do with Magnus in particular? Magnus himself is not a strong hero. His abilities make the man. And let alone if he didn't have one of the abilities that is in Magnus's total hero pool, Magnus would be a completely destroyed or worthless hero. Now, a lot of you are saying or thought that yes, Magnus has always been a dead hero, and now all of a sudden he seems to be back in the off lane, and that's purely because Magnus is a very strong team fighting hero. In a lot of Dota right now, in this current meta or in this current patch, again, however you want to say it, it has been highlighted that there's a lot more team fights and a lot more physical damage team fights, which is very important to say the least. And the reason why I say that is because, well, purely because that's what it is. So Magnus has been excelling in this very physical damage meta where a lot of other heroes wouldn't be able to excel. So obviously some hero like Magnus would be able to provide the extra physical damage that the heroes lack, which is usually quite a bit now that it's the physical damage meta, and a lot of people like to go for either durability or actual damage capability. A lot of people still tend to go for durability, which is also why people will pick up the Magnus. He's a very strong, durable hero who gives the ability of Battle Fury as well as an increased damage percentage. And I believe the highest was what? 50%. And the cleave was also 50%. So it's a very strong thing, not to mention RP into the multiple skewer targets to bring them back into a team fight on top of whatever heroes that you have there. Obviously, you could skewer them into a black hole, which we've seen Enigma come back a lot. But we'll talk about that in a later episode. In particular, we're highlighting the usage of Magnus. Almost said Slardar. We're highlighting the usage of Magnus in a lot of pro games. So why would I be talking about it in AVGL? Well, AVGL is actually a group of college students or kids or whatever age they actually are playing Dota at a very competitive rate in a very competitive season. So it's not unnatural for some people who don't understand the game to not understand what to do or what to pick. But so far, a lot of these pro players are actually picking up and doing exactly what they need to do when they need to do it and with which heroes they need to do it with, which is usually something you don't see in a lot of pro games. So what's been happening is that I've been observing these games for quite some time. I think I've watched actually every single series and gone over all of them. And Magnus has been a lot of love been showing a lot of love in AVGL and normal Dota in general. For example, the one behind me, or behind that one. And so, anyway, 1 second, guys. So overall, there was just the large culmination of the fact that Magnus is going to be picked up a lot more. Now, I know I said that about the last hero that I highlighted, but it's true. Magnus will be a very common pick now. We'll most likely be seeing him a lot more in the DAC as well as future AVGL games. Obviously, we have this was the second to last week, so we have one more week of groups, and then we hit the actual final period when it's do or die time. Where I don't know what people we take out from where, but when we do it, we'll be ready. So anyway, this is Party PD highlighting AVGL in particular for the relevance and the recent appearance of Magnus as the offlane or the core. On game number 3 of today, we had the mid Magnus providing a lot of power and damage capability, but the game 1 we had the offlane Magnus, and that's what we were gifted with. So overall, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this AVGL specific highlight of the Drafters Corner for Magnus. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you next time. And this is Party PD, signing off.
I do hope you enjoyed the video that you watched today. If you want to see more done by me, or just done by anyone in general, please have a look around the rest of the channel. Leave a like, favorite, and subscribe on this video, and we will see you next time for some more Dota 2 based equipment and stuff. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you all next time.